Let's do like two things.
What's up? Hi guys.
Hi. It's super late.
It's so late.
Like
and we look sleep, right?
Definitely sleep.
So, but tomorrow's gonna be really busy. So we wanted to record Suffering Well tonight.
While
and
we're all together.
The stars aligned.
The stars are aligned. Do.
I don't know when you're gonna get this again, so we just gotta see these moments, okay? So we took a sip trip to Philly and had a good time. I think it's so interesting how you get a girl and fun changes, but we had a really good time. And we were talking about so much because we're finally together. And what we want to talk about today is.
Ding, ding, ding.
Are we standing here?
what was that about?
Was it like us?
Oh.
You forgot.
That fast.
Oh, God. Relationships hard work.
So the question on the table is, should relationships be hard work?
Or should they be hard?
Should they be hard or should they be hard work? Same difference. Okay, kick me then, Ruby.
25.
Should they be hard work? We need to keep you covered, girl.
So is this just for anybody to take it?
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about it. What are your perspectives? Like, should relationships be hard?
I don't think they should be hard. Do I think they'll take work? Yes. Do I think they'll have everything won't always be like daisies and roses? That you'll have difficulties? Yes. Will you have hard times? Yes. But should the relationship in its entirety be hard work? I don't think so.
We covered it.
I agree. I don't think relationships should be hard. I think there'll be challenges. I don't think they should be hard. Because you should be so compatible that, you just work it out.
It's compatible.
So I think it's interesting. So I think
what is compatibility?
I like eggs.
Bro, we gotta answer the first question first.
I would say that relationships are. I would say that relationships are hard work.
That is so crazy.
But I think I think we have to define what it means. You getting down?
You want to sit down here and want to juice?
What do you want to do with the blankie?
Okay, co-star.
I do think relationships are hard.
You think relationships are hard?
I do.
Okay.
But I think there's also like a play on words that we're doing. It's like, so what is really hard? Relationships take work. What's the difference between work and hard work? What's the difference between hard and just work? So we can get into semantics, but I think relationships are going to take work. They're not going to be easy. It's not just going to be like a. It's going to be like a.
I hope not.
And then it's going to be like this. And then it's not going to come apart.
Because I don't have time for this.
There's no way that you're gonna get this.
We can do one with this.
Yeah, I was like, how about like it's slow?
I'm good.
And then sometimes you cross, but it shouldn't be like that the whole time. Like
I didn't say it was like that the whole time.
It kept going.
For what? 2 seconds?
I think you hit and then you realign and then you hit and then I don't know.
Is it a series of constantly hitting and realigning?
I think it's that you're growing, Gib. I don't know how spend a day. No, I mean, we're growing, you develop, and I think as people grow together, I think you should be growing together. We should be doing hand movements today. So we're growing together.
Oh, did you agree on growing together? Who didn't agree on growing together?
No, I'm saying that, but I don't feel like we're like.
Sorry,
it still should be hard though. So I think we're about to take a break.
No, keep going.
I think.
Wait, why are y'all not in a relationship? Are y'all not in a relationship because you of the fear that they'll be hard.
Why are you not in a relationship? Because we're the only ones not in it.
I'm a eunuch. I don't get in those.
Bruh,
My devotion is to the Lord.
Hey, who's mine too? Mine is to Jesus too.
Are you sure?
But you haven't committed.
It
You haven't
is.
dedicated your life to that, though.
That's this whole year is dedication to Him, and that's the reason why I'm single.
You should dedicate your heart to the
No, it's not. You're singing because you said you don't know what love is. You have to read.
I mean, it's a
love.
lot of things why. This is not a good season. This is a single season for me.
Hey, man. I think relationships are hard because.
Bro, they're not hard.
No, listen. No, I believe for some people they are hard.
No.
Just I don't
That's
think
'cause
we
they
take
don't
time
know.
to take the. I don't think we
Jay-Z
take
said it the
singleness
other week.
for
He
real.
said that when you never had love, you never experienced love, and you don't have the tools in order to be successful when it
He
comes
was just
to love.
talking.
Bro, but that's real though.
He was just
But what is-
But
But you don't learn
though.
love.
Bro,
How do you
if you
learn
don't-
love?
if you never experienced though,
Like
if you
some
never
of your
experienced,
parents-
how do you do it?
Wait, so like
Regardless
is it
of wherever you
different?
experience it at, but if
You
you never
I think we
experienced,
experienced love from our parents, but my God, I still don't feel like my
Intimate relationship.
concept of like love and intimate relationship is.
That's what.
Is
that's
there a
what-
basis?
what
But
I'm saying.
is there a basis for love?
yes,
Like, is there a
there
standard?
is all in the Bible. It's in the good book.
What if you're not Christian? Then you don't know what love is.
I don't have nothing to do with them. I'm a Christian.
But you can't say that love is based. You can't say a concept
Yes, I
that's
can. You can
universal is
tell
based
me
on something that doesn't make
What
sense.
my definition is
It's us. Yeah, we can't talk about the world.
So you can't say that. No, it's
Bro,
like,
you can't.
love for
you
me.
Can be,
You can say
you
love
can be
for
that
me.
person.
You can
be
say
the
love
person.
for me.
You
But
can
you
be
can't
the
say
person
love
that speaks
either.
for the world because I can't. I can only speak for me. I can't speak for anybody else.
So you're
I
saying
guess-
my love is. The love for me is. You're not saying what love is.
I asked him what
But I
was the
think
standard.
the whole
Yeah,
our
so
whole
let's
series
just- let's
is our
just-
concept.
Let's
though.
just define it. What is the standard of love that you learn?
Bro, because if you
That
talk about
or
love,
we.
I'm gonna say that love is enough. That's all you need, and as long as you got love, real love, everything.
So it's
works
not
out.
love is enough. You gotta have real love.
huh?
What's real love?
I'm
Love
looking
is
for
love.
real love.
Something to set my heart free.
Was she talking about Jesus in that song?
No, she's talking about that good dick.
Wow.
I don't think that's you. I don't think that's what she was
Hide
talking
your
about.
Pause right now.
Hide
and
your
ask
kids,
her
hide
if
your
you
wives.
know.
Oh, I don't think that's what she was talking
I thought
about.
that was
You're getting everybody out here.
Well,
So what is the basis of love?
what is love?
What does that mean? The basis of love, the foundation of love?
What is
You
love?
just said there's a basis that you learn.
I said the standard.
I think love
I
is
said-
sacrifice. Love is, huh?
Yeah, that's a sketchy
Listen,
word.
y'all gonna touch on everything we talked about this weekend, and that's okay. I think love is sacrifice. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice, then it's not love. Love and forgiveness.
Isn't that just being a good person?
Bro,
Forgiveness.
no.
Forgiveness isn't just being a good person.
Mm-mm. I'm not forgiving
Maybe it's
everybody.
a different level.
I don't forgive people at work all the time, and I don't love them.
Nope. That's the why I don't.
You
know.
do love
I don't
them.
love them.
Maybe,
Obviously
it may
do.
be. I think that.
Like general
forgiving
love, or
everybody.
talk about like romantic love.
Bro,
Let's
I
talk
don't
about
love
love generally.
I think. It,
I
think
respect
from
everybody. I
a
don't
from
love
a
them.
from a from
Well,
a
come on, good book that
I hate
don't
to
love
say from a
everybody.
Christian,
Disrespect them.
right? Love God.
This is-
Love your neighbor as yourself. So you saying who's your neighbor? The person who lives next to
The
you.
people in my church.
And that's what people talk about. What is your neighbor? And that's actually a great conversation because white people used to say that my neighbors are my white people. So they used to treat all white people like they wanted to, like they wanted to be treated. But then if you weren't white, it was like, nah, F you don't get rights.
'Cause you're not
So
my neighbor.
you're picking and choosing
Wait.
your neighbor. It's not
Literally.
we know you're not talking about your church, but you're still saying that like you don't love everybody.
There are some people that I don't love, and the Grim Reaper that works at my job.
This is why I
don't
said I
love.
think it's very good that you have like a center pole and then like everybody just kind of like it's just around
a
that
center
pole.
pole.
I don't think there's a sinner.
Yeah,
though.
I
where's
don't
the
want
center
it. I don't
pole?
do any polls.
But I'm saying though,
I was sure
like you
there's a
said,
This is why we don't have Circle Well after dark. We
maybe that's what
Because
this is.
Brady needs to get home to his
Summer
wife.
after dark.
After
Clearly.
The explicit
He's not
stuff.
suffering blood right now.
Say rated X.
Seriously,
It's gonna have
beware.
a
No rated
disclaimer
X
on
on
it.
you.
Anyway, a poll is like a standard, and I think when you don't have a standard, you're just like, love is this today,
love it this tomorrow.
No, but that's not what it means.
That's not. No.
That's what we talked about today. We talked about.
That's not what it means.
No, everything changes. We just
no.
Because you don't have a definition. Because anybody's definition,
your definition changes.
Let's define what a standard is. Let's define what a
standard
standard is. A standard is something that applies to different people, and it's like the same across the board.
Not true.
But that's okay. So what's a standard?
For anybody?
A standard should be consistent across all levels.
Exactly. And I'm saying you shouldn't have standards for.
Like a standardized.
I don't want you to make a standard for my relationship. I don't. I never will. Like that. I don't want that.
Why can't you just make it even though you don't reach it or you don't achieve it? That's just you don't want to reach that standard. But why?
I'm sorry. Who's setting the standard?
But
who's setting the standard? Is Kevin setting the standard for my relationship, or am I setting the standard for my own relationship?
I don't have a relationship, so I can't say it for anything.
Okay, so I think that's part of it. Like I should be able to set the standard for my relationship. But then the thing is, as my relationship goes,
your standard changes.
My standard either can or can't change. Why can't it?
That's a goal.
Standard goal. You just made that up.
No, I'm trying to think of a standard.
No, that is a difference because your goals change.
But your standard
why should goals change?
Why? You want different things.
Because as you achieve one, then you create a new one.
So my standard changes. I learn information.
No, your standard remains the same.
A standard that changes.
What's an example?
So on a really basic level, there's a frequency score. The frequency score changes.
Let's talk about relationships.
No, so we're talking about relationships.
Right,
bro.
Not the
we're talking about standards.
We're talking about relationships
that we took.
Can we? No.
So we're talking about relationships. There's a standard that changes. I'm gonna expect us to have. Could it be as simple as having
a standard?
A standard.
Standard.
Not an expectation.
What's the difference?
They're just words. These are important words.
What's the difference?
You know, we always play this definition game.
We do.
This is why we never accomplish anything. Or there's never agreement because the definitions are floating and they're just like, technically, the
some of us
is
feel like definitions and change,
definitions matter,
and they're convenient to us.
Right, definitions
and then
change.
Some feel like there should be one definition.
So, what is the definition of love? For
love
those floating opinions or those
static
opinions.
Love is the act of giving of yourself without reservation to another person. It's like
love
a
is kind, love is
self-sacrificial.
Well, then definitely, I don't
love
love
kind,
everybody.
love is gentle, love is bears no.
And you know
kind of
what?
wrongdoing. I think love is so. Love isn't that stuff.
Me and Jordan heard something really cool yesterday. I heard it earlier this week, but it was a lot of times we give many names to something that really can't be named. And it's by giving it many names, we speak to the multiple definitions of it, the multiple meanings of it. So when you think of love, like we were in Philadelphia today. So Philadelphia, it's kind of like brotherly love. Like it's its own type of love. Of course, there's different words for love. There's, charity. That's a type of love. There's, the erotic love, which is intimate relationships. Then there's agape love, which is unconditional. So like relationships are multifaceted. And I don't think we can just define like love. I think it has many different types. Just like for the Eskimos, there's different types of definitions for snow, for the different types of snow. So I think that, love is complex. We have to give it many names in order to speak to the beauty and the greatness that it is. So we do a disservice to love, as I'm wearing a shirt. We do a disservice to love when we try to speak to it in singular terms. I think it's too big for that.
So which some of
So you're saying we're not?
So that's episode 7 of Suffering Well. Thank you for tuning in. I'm playing now.
I was gonna say we didn't win at all.
So what?
So you can't define it.
No, I thought there were just multiple types. So which type are we talking about
Get your
right
blankie.
now? Are we talking about
Give me your blankie.
Are we talking
Bring me your
about
blankie.
agape? Are we talking about that other type of love we reference?
Yo, I always use agape love. That's always my statement. That's
why you don't love everybody.
Yo, but I don't think we can't have agape love. I think that's reserved for God.
I don't know. I feel like I have agape love for y'all.
What's agape love again?
Unconditional. Sacrificing.
So if we weren't your brothers and sisters, you still love us the same?
No.
So it's conditional upon the fact that we're your brother and sister,
Yes.
So it's not agape. Maybe that's not agape because it changes the relationship. But
Man, I think God has agape love.
like, I guess if we were to betray you, if we were to like truly betray you, where you trusted us to do something, and it's not like we just didn't do it, we like completely took advantage of you. Like you would still be like, sorry, I love you, I give it back.
I think that I've been betrayed by a sibling. I so love you.
The truth comes out.
Oh, how much time we got to unpack this one? And you said love you unconditionally. You looked at me, so please enlighten us.
It's unconditional.
How did I betray you?
It's unconditional.
How did I betray you?
Tell us.
Hell, not on this.
No, come on, we'll press pause for that. Please.
But I think I have unconditional love for my sibling.
No, how did I betray you?
Betrayal D.
How did I betray you?
We betray you too?
No, I said I wouldn't.
How did I betray you, please? We got time.
We'll
There's
talk
no
about this.
No, how did I betray you?
We'll talk about it.
We can talk about it now. Let the world know.
Wow. Y'all getting some good.
Let this 25 minutes pick up so we can get to the good part.
What time? How much time we got? We
Oh
cut this
Oh
much.
my gosh.
Wait, so let's go.
Wait,
back
bro,
to
what was the original question?
We're
Relationships
talking
being
about like
hard.
relationships being hard, and then what is
Well, we already
love?
said that
Always go down the tunnel.
because we play with these definitions.
But you have to, like, any discourse starts with defining the terms. If we're both talking about
So
love and
yours
you
is
talking about
erotic,
something and I'm
mine
talking about
is
something
agape,
else,
yeah, it's different.
it could be very well that we're
So
talking
then we
about
go
two
back
different
to, is it
things.
hard?
Do we define hard?
What type of love?
Do we define
are we talking
love we're
about?
talking about? No,
I
we
think-
didn't. So
Well,
Is it a
sorry guys, we
We
didn't
never
prepare
talked
for this
about love.
conversation.
no, this is
We
the
never talked
exact
about love.
conversation that we're having.
So we're talking about romantic love. So like in like
What? Go back.
are we talking about
We'll go
romantic love in a one-on-one in a relationship with your significant other?
But we're talking about love. We
No,
got
no.
distracted.
We're talking about love in that confound, right?
But
Should
that's
that
not what we're talking
relationship
about, though.
isn't that the
Child.
relationship that we're talking about? Relationships should be
You
hard.
don't watch your hands.
Are we
don't do
talking
that.
about in the
I'm just playing out there.
we're
Nah.
talking
Go ahead,
about
I'm
in
listening.
a romantic relationship?
In a romantic relationship,
Right.
should they be hard?
Should they be hard? So what does love then look like in a romantic relationship?
Oh, in a romantic
Not-
relationship,
not
is it committed or not
But
committed?
I think it's what Bernie's definition was.
Does
that
it matter?
It is self. It's
Does
self.
it matter?
Yes.
Love in a is
What?
it committed or not?
What makes you committed? Marriage?
That's not what we said. Is it a committed
But I'm
relationship?
saying though, what makes it commit? Like if we're
I'll get you some
exclusive,
in a second. Okay.
like what's committed? Like are we married? Because
No,
I think that's
it's not
sometimes you're.
married. No, committed relationship doesn't equate to married.
It's exclusive.
No, it doesn't equate to exclusive.
Your definition is so loose. Your brain is just loose.
What's
No,
committed
but
to
the
somebody?
loose-
It means
What else
like
I'm trying to figure out?
I am like in it with you,
But
or I'm like, I'm not really in. Like committed is like
So you
being
can-
inside the house.
So you
Are
can
you in the house? Are you standing at the door? Are you like straddling in the house and outside the house? You outside the house.
So you can be outside the house and still love.
Can you be in a relationship outside the house?
Absolutely.
Are
You
you
say that's
really
my. You can say
committed?
that's my wife, but I'm like, I'm not really committed to it. That's just my wife. You know, like if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It's
Is that
To
really
your
love?
wife?
Is that really love?
yeah. That's how you think people get divorces. It's you're not committed, and eventually you just end up.
is that why they get divorces?
I think sometimes yes. So we're talking about commitment.
So
Sorry.
love
I turned
clearly
30.
is
So
not the
this ain't
only
it.
thing that matters.
Look,
in
never
a-
been the
in a
only thing that
romantic
matters. No.
relationship.
I think love.
Why
you have-
can't
you
it be the
have
only
to-
thing
you
if
have
it's
to-
so encompassing? If it's so everything else.
You have to filter is the right word, but you have to put that love against something, right?
Why does it have to be put against something? Why can't it just needs to be in its purest form?
So
What is a
if
peaceful-
so, a relationship, right? So let's say just talk about Tristan. So if I were to believe that Tristan would do better if we weren't together, for me to love her would mean for me to let her go, or for me to walk away. If I believe that, So at this
So
point,
you don't believe that?
I don't believe that now.
Okay.
But if that's what I believe, the loving thing to do would be to end the relationship.
Mhm.
So if love is all there is, and love is, and you don't put it against something, it's, I guess you could do anything and say that it's, and believe that it's love. You can end the relationship and say that it's love. Love has to be paired with something. It's, I believe that, you know, I don't know. It has to be paired with something. Yes, baby.
So love has to be paired for something.
What can
There's some juice in one of those cups.
I don't know.
Wait,
Y'all,
what
it
is
sounds
love?
complicated how y'all explain it. And if I'm
That's
watching
why
this, I'm like,
relationships are
I'm
hard.
over relationships.
I
Like,
mean, that's the thing. Like, it's like we get into these things where it's like we expect. Okay, hold on, baby.
I think
We're at the point where we're just expecting other people. We expect other people to make these decisions for us. Like it's not. Yes, baby.
I think we as
So you have
human
one
beings
juice bar?
no.
We don't have any.
We have made relationships hard. We've made loving people hard.
Have relationships
I don't
not
think
always
It's
been hard?
supposed to be hard.
Why is
You
it
think-
supposed to be hard?
who said it's supposed to be
You
hard?
take everything that I am. You take my 28 years,
Bro,
and you take somebody else's 28 years, and now you're just like you're trying to put them together.
yeah, if you're broken and you get with another broken
Even
person,
if you're
yes, it
not
can be hard,
broken,
but
even
no,
if you're not broken,
if it's
it's
no,
not.
it's not.
I don't think they should
Yo,
be
I
hard.
do not think so.
And
I think we complicate.
But we talk
I
about
think-
hard is.
I think-
We didn't talk about that. So what
I
are we
think
saying
when
hard
I
is?
think when you do the work for yourself, Iyanla Benzin says it.
Yes,
Do the work.
Ayana, do the work.
Do the work, and you make sure that you deal with yourself. Get all your soul ties together.
Your
Get all your
insecurities,
insecurities.
feeling of neglect.
Yeah,
All
all
that
of your
stuff.
baby, child, kid, mama, daddy issues. You deal with all of that.
In
then
those
you
28
present- And
years.
then you present yourself to another person who's also dealt with that. I don't think. Yes, you're gonna have challenges. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna have money
Wait, so
problems.
the challenges and issues don't make it hard?
Bro,
I
no,
want to go to the pool.
like, bro,
You want to go to the pool?
they're going to the pool.
Hmm?
That's outside.
Oh,
She wants to go to the pool.
That's outside.
But yeah,
yeah,
I think that's true.
I think that's when it becomes hard. If you're insecure
No, I think even if
and
you
then
take-
you put in money issues, yes, that is going to be hard as hell. But if you didn't have those insecurities and you were literally just focusing on, okay, how do we overcome the fact that you lost your job and we need to be able to live? That's one issue versus like that issue, and then you feeling like,
Your
oh, I'm
insecurities.
emasculated because now I can't provide for my family, and oh, that means I'm looking like my father, and oh, that means that
now
I didn't finish college.
And like,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, you got a whole bunch of stuff that really doesn't have to be there.
And what
That's
happens,
what makes that complicates it, and that makes it hard.
I
But
get
the
it.
sole
then-
fact of like me losing my job, yes, that is a challenge that I would have to face. But all those other things, if all those other things weren't there, I don't think it would be hard. I think it would be challenging. So it would not be hard.
I definitely agree. And then you have people who never work on those things telling people relationships are hard. It's like, no, they're not hard. But if I think we would have taken the proper preparation time before we get into these relationships, I don't think that'd be hard. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that's something.
We also have
I'm
people
not gonna say that's the
who
complete reason.
currently in
but that's
relationships
something.
for saying that it's easy.
We also have people who haven't taken
I
that
don't think
proper time
nobody's
to say
saying
that it's
y'all-
hard.
So
Nobody's
it's not.
So we
easy,
need somebody
but it's
who-
hard. It's not hard.
We need to
Okay,
find
I can
somebody
say that.
who has.
So what are we saying?
I think
Who
that
has taken
what
the time.
all I'm saying is that
We need to find
you need
some
to do the work before you get.
Let's
into a
ask Andreas and
relationship.
Shani, is our relationship hard? And then let's have them
I don't-
define
I don't-
what
I
hard
don't know
really
if they
is.
did
We
the
haven't
work
defined
before
what
they
hard
got together.
is.
I don't know if they've done the work before they got together. And I
Well,
don't know
they're
their
probably the
relationship.
best example that we have right now.
I think so too.
So let's
I
ask
think
them,
they're
our
a good
relationship's hard. And it's like we haven't even defined
But
what
I feel like
hard.
that's y'all standard. I don't know them, so I'm not gonna put them as my
So
standard.
that's
a
the
good
best that we know.
relationship.
So who do you best
I don't-
relationship you
No,
know?
I don't
know
think.
that.
No,
Think
we're
about it.
not saying it's like good relationship. We're saying like people who believe they have done the work. Brandon, do you think you've done the work before you got married?
I don't know whether
Of like dealing with your insecurities. Yeah, fixing yourself in a sense.
he could.
I did some of it, yeah.
Some of it.
Yeah. I don't think you ever fix yourself
Kevin said
entirely.
you've never been alone, so you haven't.
It's not true.
You have?
I have been alone.
Short period of time, but
Sure, we can say short period of time. How much time do you need?
No, I'm just saying because I know that was also a challenge of mine. Is when you jump
Fixing
from
yourself with
relationship to
somebody else.
relationship. That's not really you're not doing the work. You're just putting it to the back burner, which is as humans are
Some
good
chips over
with
those cups.
putting things behind, putting to the back burner. We're good at compartmentalizing. But this is also a person who is single, who hasn't had sex.
you know what? But then I
relationship
feel like
in
men talk to women about being a woman. So I feel
You
like,
want bigger?
I mean, just because you're single doesn't mean your information isn't valid.
Nah, because
Yeah,
Dad
I
used to
think
say that
so.
he understood periods, and he's a man.
That's completely
Yeah,
different.
that's way different.
That's just an example of a man being able to.
You've experienced a relationship
bigger
before,
cup.
so I think you can reference. You may not be in a relationship right now, but
Right.
You've never experienced it. You don't even know what that even.
Comes
Cool,
close.
I can.
Yeah.
Or
Bro,
that.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Don't
That you've
worry.
been in a relationship before, so you can compare. So
And Dad
Yeah.
had a wife
Bigger
and
cup,
2
you're on the cup.
daughters,
no.
so he can
All right, hold on one
understand.
second.
No,
No.
you cannot. You can't fathom.
Listen, the only thing I know is
So you can't understand something that you've been in it. Yes,
That's
baby.
all.
That type of thing.
Where's your cup at?
All I know is earthquakes, water flows, and
You want your cup from in the car. Okay, so we got like 2 minutes left.
You can never say a woman you understand every month.
I'm not.
There's no way.
You can empathize.
Yo,
You can.
but you know what? That's so crazy because I just had this conversation with my coworker. Because women always say like, you don't know what it is to like go through the pain of
Having a kid.
like the pains of beauty. Like women go through
You
all
talk
this
about
stuff.
your hair.
I was like, bro, every month I'm out here going through headaches.
But I mean,
and
that's
pain.
just like one aspect of it.
No, I'm just saying.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
You
Yeah,
can
so
relate.
that
it
there
gave you a better,
are-
it gave you a different perspective because you now know every month.
So are we
that just
now
means
saying
that-
that you have to experience something in order to understand it?
I mean, that's what you said.
I think
Yeah.
you
I'm just
can-
asking what
I
you
think
guys
you
are
can
saying.
Empathize,
No,
but
we were
I don't
trying
know
to
if you can actually
Consider
understand.
what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I
But
think you
you-
can. I think you can empathize, but I don't know if you can.
So nine.
And I mean, just if
I
I'm
think-
gonna go get it.
I think you can get divine wisdom to talk about things that you don't know about.
Yeah. So I think we're almost
I
out
think
of time.
I definitely think wisdom can be given to us.
In areas that you may have not
Mhm.
experienced yet. But I think everybody gets this wisdom. I don't think so.
No, not everybody gets it, but if you ask for it,
Yeah,
he'll give it to you.
I definitely
I
agree.
think if you can.
So I think it's really important as we talk about these conversations that couples do them before they get married and before they actually really get in committed relationships.
Did you have the
I
conversation
also
before?
think
Before you get married or dating,
I also think that it's important
Pastor
to
Vernon's
define
dating.
what love looks like for you.
And he has it in the social media era.
What your relationship looks like for you. If you don't do that, you don't define it. And like you get in these conversations that we've had where we're talking about love, we're talking about work, we're talking about suffering, and we haven't even defined them. It leads to a circular conversation. We could be actually talking about 2 very different things, and we could be arguing about it and not agreeing with each other when in reality we're talking about 2 different things. And I can believe in what I believe and believe in what she believes, and we're talking about 2 different things. So it's
So
really
that's why
important.
y'all
It's
should
really
be-
important
That's what I said, you
for
gotta
us
have
to
conversation.
define the terms before we actually start arguing about them. And once we give them the same playing field on what the word means, we can actually go somewhere with it.
That's why I think premarital counseling is so important.
Bro, but even if you're for premarital, when we start,
I mean, yeah,
Pre-dating
just
counseling.
pre-dating counseling.
We're out of time.
All right.
So we're all going to give our final remarks because we are out of time.
So I'll start. I think relationships do not have to be hard. I think relationships are going to be work, just as anything worth having is work. But I don't know. I don't think it's be hard. I do think therapy to deal with all of your baggage and deal with everything that you have to bring. Like
Well, it
you
doesn't
as a
stop.
person, you as
Right.
a person bring a lot of things into a relationship, and I think you need to get those handled before you put them on someone else. Or even add that complexity to your relationship. And I think if we did the work to make ourselves better human beings and more healthy individuals, then our relationship would be
And
better.
go to the car and get your cup.
Two broke things together is not like a whole thing.
2 singles have to be a whole before they become whole.
You can't look for someone to complete you. I think that's a new thing I've discovered in my relationship.
Or you could at least end the show.
We're not doing it yet. Finish off the march.
We're gonna talk about you.
But I do think I agree. I think that it's important for people to
get on
do the
juice.
work
Get
to
on
address
juice.
those issues and those insecurities and flaws that you
She
have.
said no.
So that when you come together, that you're coming whole and not coming broken in pieces.
Let me get your cup. Y'all gonna have to end without me
because
baby girl want her cook.
I think that's important.
I'll be back, baby.
I agree. I don't think relationships have to be hard. I don't think marriages have to be hard. I just think it's just a result of brokenness.
And real quick, I also think that this whole concept of them being hard is just an excuse to say, oh, this is why it didn't work out, because they're hard. I think we just find, because I think it's easier for us because we don't do the work. I think it's easy for us to be like, you know what, there's a reason, we have an excuse for why something didn't work out, or why, like, you know, when you get in trouble or when something doesn't work out, you immediately look for an excuse versus just being like, you know what, it's my fault. You find excuses but in order to take responsibility, you really have to be able to know who you are before you can really take responsibility. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, it's somebody's fault.
It's just two of us coming together. It just doesn't work.
But that's just my thought.
Brenda, do you want to end remarks?
That
is your fact. What's in it?
It's my death
Yeah.
clothes.
So I'm probably one of the only ones who will say this. Just because I sorry.
Wow.
Relationships
It's not
are
my death clothes.
Video etiquette.
relationships are work. And I mean, we didn't define what work is compared to hard work. Relationships are work. I don't think you're gonna get into it.
It's not my death
Bro, you can't
clothes.
compare hard work and work.
No,
I think
It's
the
not my
fundamental
death
word is
clothes.
work.
You can compare hard work with just work.
But they're not the same thing.
What's the difference?
Hard. Hard is the definition. Work.
So when you talk, so you're right. There are two different words.
All
We
right,
talk
we got
about the
one there. Go ahead,
qualities of
close
each
up.
one.
Go ahead. Close.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother conversation.
Because
We'll be
I
45
already know
minutes.
Brandon took it and he will go.
Go ahead.
And that's
So, my point is you have to define terms. And any conversation you have to define terms. That's it. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're about to get in a relationship, or you're married, you gotta communicate and come to the same terms. That's how relationships are made, broken, lost, destroyed.
Communication.
Jesus.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
I'm a meditation of my heart.
Big step on that side. Oh, Lord.
I gotta sneeze.
Cover us.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Take care. Be smart. Step it up.
Right.
Suffer well.
Suffer really well.
Even
because
in your relationship.
we
Even
are.
in the hard one.
If it's
Even
hard
in
or
these
if
ones,
it's
too.
And this
Suffer well.
conversation that we about to have about this guy being betrayed,
Woo!
light it up.
Suffer well.
We'll talk about that next week.